woke up early, checked the email, and gonna get my day started. Next up, gonna finish breakfast, went for a walk. So, bowl. Too late. He's back in the fridge.
Condition-wise, in toward Lake Philly, it's actually a beautiful morning at the beach. Partly cloudy skies can be expected since Lake Erie above. That's high temps to the north. What's interesting, though, is although aesthetically this morning could not be more sublime, it's beautiful. We do have a danger out there, and that happens to be something that may not catch the eye immediately, and that's the water that we see. But we've got, let's see, high tide around 12:22 today, with waves coming in anywhere from 4 to 5 feet. There's real danger out there for people who are not strong swimmers. Even if you're a decent swimmer, we've got and you can get over if you're not careful. The number one thing to do is avoid putting yourself in that position by getting out of the water. So you can see a long surfer out there. More than a few out there that take advantage of the waves, but we do expect the waves to pick up. Again, high tide around 12:22, subsiding by late afternoon. Into the weekend, we have a moderate risk, so still be careful out there.
Turning the bowl at the same time.
In this tropical season, I mean, this season,
Gonna add vegetables to the omelet.
we have a long way to go. My goodness, we see things turn very quickly, especially as we make our way into September and October. Man, what a season we may be having. Let's do that easier.
Well, not only did we get the earliest 6-named storm on record, but it even beat the 5th named storm on record. Okay, that was July 12th, so we're ahead of that, and even the 5th named storm on record. So incredible system here as we watched it develop yesterday off the North Carolina. Great shot on the visual too, we'll show you later on the circulation center. 50 miles per hour is what we find. Hurricanes are entering this as we speak. Here's the visible imagery right there. There you can see the tropical storm. All right, that's it. And it's over cooler water now, which is around the 70s. But you can see, still see some of the showers to the north. Some of the heaviest rain coming into the Martha as we speak. Ocean City, Chincoteague, out toward Cape May, Atlantic City, and you see the lightning just offshore of Atlantic City that we'll watch. Right now, we got some flood warnings, and just seeing some flood pictures coming in from Bethany Beach. A lot of those streets underwater there on Bethany Beach this morning. But this is Worcester County and Maryland, and also Sussex County as we take you north into Delaware. Long Neck, plenty of roads and residential areas near the Long Neck area. As I mentioned, Bethany Beach also reporting some of the flooding. Some of the troubles are actually on the west side, the offshore side. So not super onshore, but stronger on the offshore side. As I mentioned, Hurricane Hunter getting awfully close into this thing. They've already found tropical storm force. The alerts, of course, the warnings going all the way up toward New York City, the coast of Connecticut, including Long Island Sound as well. We will watch this rain footprint trend as well. Head north with it and head up into Canada and beyond.
Take a bite out of summer with try our delicious specialty pizzas cooked at 450 degrees on golden crust or no crust in new specialty pizzas.
Wash the fork. I will be right back. Okay, first things first. Go in the fridge again. I got the milk peppers. And special cheese in here.
traffic mapping drone.
Impressive.
There is one more thing.
Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. With the Drive Safe and Save app, you'll save up to 30% for being a safe driver and get a discount just for signing up.
Well played, Jake from State Farm. As usual.
You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm's there.
For every staircase supporting a grand entrance, door frames marking milestones, and floors kissed by bare feet. Protect the pure joy of home with Terminix. We're committed to keeping termites out of your home with our all-new On Guard termite protection system. Always backed by the Terminix promise to keep your home strong enough.
Gonna rinse real quick.
After heavy rain drenched roads in John, Illinois, almost 3/4 of the inch fell. Majority of it came in an hour. That's the problem, right? 3/4 of an inch of rain. Yeah, not a big deal. But when it's an hour,
So, this might be an all vegetables omelet, or make it some rice. Got the oil towel here.
Rolling down the street. And that's the way today we
Bell pepper.
Also, thunderstorms that are going to be popping again in the Midwest, dropping some big rain. So let's get to it with your super safe driving forecast. You know, one area this morning has been right along I-90. There have been some thunderstorms left over from last night, but this will also be a spot to watch later today. And it's coming anywhere from, I would say, the eastern part of South Dakota, then down North Dakota, down into South Dakota. Get ready for bigger storms. Also, we have thunderstorms this morning across lower western Michigan. Those are going to be tracking east, affecting your ride on 94, on 96, eventually on 75. Get ready.
Cut
This
a
morning,
couple
it's been
strips
69 up
over
around Fort
here.
Wayne, and we see all this track east by midday. It's I-75, and then by later on today, it's going to be a lot of 80, including in Cleveland. So, all right, well, let's talk about the storms that are dancing in the central U.S. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Omaha are part of the dance-off. The major players are lining up to party. It's hail, wind, and flooding downpours. RSVP'd early to Mother Nature's dance storm with Kansas. That is where things are already
And I
pumping
cut
here.
them into
And we
cubes.
are going to see this weather just really drip down I-35. Severe thunderstorms all in the second o'clock. We have had some flooding rain with this coming down. Watch for gusty winds, too, with this big complex of storms. Wichita, you're kind of right on the east side. Severe thunderstorm warning. Look at that cell. That thing is cranking it out. I'm talking blinding
Cut 'em
rain,
into thin
very
strips.
strong winds. Portions of I-35 are in some of that heavy stuff here, and that will continue. Now, we have yet just pieces of energy. Basically, there's a big ridge over here, and everything's kind of bumping around that. And so we have that threat for storms today to fire up. Yet again, the Dakotas to Nebraska. It's kind of where it's at this time of year, right? A little bit farther to the north with our systems coming through. We've got the energy, we've got the moisture, and we actually have some winds. Now remember, one of the key things for severe weather is to have your winds crossing over the zone sector like this. Now, it doesn't have to be the strongest winds. It's not like we have some huge jet going across.
Bell
But
pepper
even if you're
smells
not
so
strong,
good.
that can still cause
When I cut these
severe
up
weather.
small,
And remember, you don't need a tornado in order
and
to get
then
damage. Just strong winds.
gonna put them in the
cause
bowl
that.
right
And of course,
afterward.
once we get that daytime heating, that always really enhances everything.
Oh, and it will today again, too. Listen up, everybody. A challenge just about anyone could participate in. It's the Plastic-Free July Challenge. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. People all across the world have pledged to cut down the amount of plastic they use. Rebecca Louise, she created the challenge. She is the founder and executive director of the Plastic-Free Foundation, and she joins us this morning from Australia to tell us about this Plastic-Free July Challenge. All right, Rebecca, let's talk a little bit about this. First of all, I want to ask you, is there any way to even quantify the amount of plastic that a family uses in a week?
Yeah, well, look, the way that I quantify what my family were using in a week was the fact I was filling my recycling bin every week, and it was pretty much full of plastic. So that was part of what gave me a real wake-up call when I learned where it went.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but my recyclables far outweigh any trash that I have, probably by about 2 to 1. What prompted you to do this challenge? What kicked it into gear? Was it just the fact that you're looking recycle
Cut 'em
works in the
small
trash.
again.
We gotta do something here.
Well, what actually kicked me into gear was visiting the recycling facility where my waste actually went. You know, we talk about throwing things away, and I used to put my waste in the bin, and I never thought about where it went. But when I got a chance to visit that facility and I saw what my waste looked like with my neighbours and everyone else in my street and my suburb, I realised how much there was and the challenges of dealing with that. And I knew I needed to do something differently. So I really just set out to change myself and went into my family's bin.
All right, so what can we do to reduce plastic waste?
Look, we can all do something. We can't all do everything, and it really is a challenge. So for me and for where most people start, it's really about looking for ways to reduce it. So looking at the plastics in your life, remembering reusables. We've all got reusable water bottles that we can fill from home, and shopping bags, and refusing unnecessary plastic packaging like the straw, and looking for goods that are less packaged in plastic. And even in these times where there is more challenges than usual, we can still make lots of simple switches, switching liquid soap to bar soap, which is proven to be just as effective in terms of controlling the virus. So we look for small changes, and that's the best place to start.
Rebecca, Tracy, Louise, great challenge, great
Okay.
idea. I mean, we come in contact with plastic all the time. We've absolutely got to reduce it.
Got some small pieces here.
It's an awful situation.
Still got a
Thanks for
little
joining
ways
us
to
this
go.
morning, from Australia.
But
Awesome. Yeah, nice to talk to you down there.
cutting them into little tiny pieces, not too small.
All right, let's talk about what's going on out there in the tropics. Off the mid-Atlantic coast, we're talking about Tropical Storm Faye headed for a possible landfall. Coming up, live report from the Jersey Shore on the progress of Tropical Storm Faye. And then later, the amazing site that's got astronomers and sky watchers and all of us buzzing. Details about the best times to catch the sight of the comet, Neowise. There it is out there. All right, let's see. Back here.
Subaru Safe Driving Guide, brought to you by Subaru. Parents have a way of imagining the world, especially when you have easily distracted
Okay.
teenagers in the car.
Got my amount here. I'm gonna pour it in the bowl.
At Subaru, we're taking on distracted driving with sensors that alert you when your eyes are off the road. The Subaru Forester. The safest Forester ever.
Okay, that looks just about right. I'm gonna double check on it. Perfect.
Right. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Looks like they picked the wrong driver. They'll be paying for this for a long time. They will. That's some forgiveness. Also,
Isn't that what I said?
No, you were talking about all six internally. But
that's good you did that call. Put your call for posted it.
Gonna put this back in the fridge. I don't need it right now. Ooh, what is that?
Safety.
Okay,
It's not a fad or
move
a
the plate
trend.
aside for now.
It's not even a priority.
Got some room here.
Priorities shift and change. At Lowe's, we believe safety is more than that. To us, it's a
Gonna
priority.
grab some other
Because
vegetables.
safety is just something that we do and have always done. And it's never been more important than now. Safety unites us.
Do you have tons of photos just stuck on your phone? I do.
I'm a member of American Home Shield. Means the sauce that they can pick you out, but I'm not.
All good here.
Something's wrong with my AC. It's blowing pretty hard and won't turn off. Luckily, I'm a member of American Home Shield. My plan helps cover the cost when parts of more than 20 home appliances and systems wear out. If they can't repair them, they'll replace them.
American Home Shield is the
largest and pays the most home warranty claims.
It covers things home insurance doesn't, no matter their age. It's a beautiful day. I've never felt so good. Give American Home Shield a call to find the right plan for you. 800-519-0148. That's 800-519-0148.
Putting in some cooked vegetables. Taking some out of the pot. And they're already cut, so I just have to throw them in. Okay, perfect. And these vegetables are easy to pick up with your finger.
We are now getting into some of the worst weather we have seen here with Tropical Storm Faye. If you look at the radar, you can really see the heavy bands of rain now starting to push into southern Jersey, through Cape May County, and now here in Atlantic City and throughout Atlantic County. This is going to continue to move, but notice how there's a lot of heavy orange, even another band to the south. These are where we have this tropical storm force wind. Look at the waves. I mean, goodness, things have changed drastically in the last 3 hours. You know, we had higher winds overnight, but they have really picked up. And we're also getting closer to high tide. We're still a couple of hours away.
I will be right back. Gonna put the stuff away.
But there's not going to be a lot of people out here this.
Okay, put other stuff away. Time for onions.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're talking about a tropical storm, often it's like a more focused area where you have the most damage, right? You have that storm surge. You know, with nor'easters, their footprint is usually a lot bigger, especially when it comes to wind damage and perhaps the flooding. Though this one could have a pretty good flood footprint. A lot of people do say that. Well, that nor'easter was worse than the tropical storm. And hopefully that can be the case. Now,
Pull this out. Put it back.
this time of year, once the tropical system, the most common in the summer, early fall, nor'easters are more common in the winter. This is why you think of snow and nor'easters and so lots of it. All right, so let's talk about 3 memorable ones that have gone to the East Coast here. Grayson, Jonas, and Juno. We're going to start and talk about the winds for Grayson. We're at 76 miles an hour. Hurricane force winds.
Heavy hurricane force winds, but yes, this is a nor'easter.
Yeah,
Comes
2
right
feet of
out.
snow in Jonas, New York City, is its biggest snowstorm.
Not expecting
That's a
that.
storm record. There we go, right? And Juno pounded parts of the Northeast with 3 feet of snow, high winds, and coastal flooding.
All right, so definitely we get some big impacts from storms that are nor'easters, but also tropical systems. And today, that's what it's all about, tropical storm Faye. We'll continue to track the heavy rain and the flooding rain that's already coming with it.
Yeah, hurricane hunters are making their way out to the system. We will see details soon.
I think it's very important to put myself in my customer's shoes because I have been
Onions
in
coming
my
apart.
customer's shoes.
Well,
All right.
what I love most about my job is the
We'll
ability
use it.
that we have to help people. That's what it's all about. A lot's changed lately, but our commitment to the safety of Firestone's complete auto care is and always has been, well, the thing we do best. Firestone Complete Auto Care, helping our neighbors since 1926.
Gonna cut the onion into small pieces, and then we're gonna put it in the bowl. Gonna do strips, and then nice and small, but not too small.
Did you know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need? I should get a quote. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Needles, essential for sewing, but maybe not for people with certain inflammatory conditions, because there are options like an injection, Xeljanz, the first and only pill of its kind that treats moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, or moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, when other medicines have not helped enough. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers, including lymphoma, and blood clots have happened. Taking a higher than recommended dose of Xeljanz for RA may increase risk of death. Tears in the stomach or intestines and serious allergic reactions have happened. Needles. Fine for some, but for you, there's a pill that may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about the pill first prescribed for RA more than 7 years ago. Xeljanz, an injection. If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, still more of you.
When you have diabetes, managing your blood sugar is crucial. Try Boost Glucose Control. The patented blend is clinically shown to help manage blood sugar levels. It provides 60% more protein than the leading diabetes nutrition shake. Try Boost Glucose Control.
And right now, Tropical Storm Faye advancing up the east coast, getting off the Delmarva. Of course, the northeast of its crosshairs for heavy rain, gusty winds. We've already had that one.
Using a third of an onion.
Talking about the rip currents, even though the sun's out, we still got rip currents here.
So these are what they look like. I'm still cutting. And then I'm gonna figure out if I need more.
Everything you need to know about our sixth main storm of the season. That's right, our sixth main storm.
And in case you guys don't know, using a plastic knife,
Good Friday morning, everybody. It's July 10th.
but it works.
I'm meteorologist Sue Cantor alongside meteorologist Stephanie Aiken. I know the children Reynolds and Chris, of course, are in the field. The Midwest and Plains, there's a storm spiraling up later today with all hazards. We'll have that forecast for you in 10 minutes. But first, Tropical Storm Faye with up some strong waves and some flooding along the east coast. Let's take a look at it here. It formed on the Carolina coast yesterday when the hurricane hunters got out there. They saw that mid-level circulation had poured its way to the surface, and voila, we got a relocated center. And that is what is moving up now headed into this bay. Wind, waves here in the Outer Banks. Strong surf, obviously near the Kitty Hawk area on Thursday. Winds around 30 miles an hour with just under an inch of rain falling. A high rip current risk remains in effect for the Outer Banks this morning. This bay makes its way up the eastern seaboard. All right, so in addition to the rip current risk and the obvious ocean marine hazard stuff, we have quite a bit of rainfall coming down. Some of the dual pole estimates now over 5.5 inches.
That will be the biggest deal. But I think it's also a huge deal that we haven't had a landfall here since 2011 that was hurricane a tropical storm since Irene. Unless you want to talk Candy.
Let's just leave it.
You're going to leave it Irene for the technicality there?
Leave it for technicality.
But when you're talking about July, you got to go back to 96 with
So we've
Bertha.
got B-name storms in New York, not F-name storms.
Thank you. Okay. All right. New advisory in. All right. Our 8 a.m. advisory. Breaking news for you. Still 50 miles an hour. Now, we're not anticipating this strengthening much more, but it's going to be a rain thing, not necessarily a wind thing. Unless you have maybe some tree limbs that are kind of hanging on by a limb, then you have to worry about that. So let's talk about some of our other records here. Sixth earliest storm on record. We crushed Franklin. That was July 22nd. By the way, 2005. I mean, if we're already beating 2005, I can't. I mean, 2005. That is one that we don't want to be anywhere close to the records that we set in that one. Here's a look at the visible satellite coming up. This is a satellite as if you're sitting on the moon and you're looking at the Earth. This is exactly what it looks like. You see that spin, drier air here on the south side of the system. It's really north and east loaded. Look at all that rain coming in. That is already causing some flash flood warnings for us here right along the coast. And we anticipate more of that. Our winds are sustained, 15, 20-ish miles an hour gusts there.
Plenty of onion.
Last hour you were in the 30s, so we're getting a little gustier. And this is all going to be moving
Layers
north.
are coming apart, and I keep cutting the rest of it.
Watch out. Now remember, last hour the plane was still getting into Faye. There it is, in Faye right now. And right now we're still just seeing those tropical storm force winds. There are the advisories posted. It's just wild to see tropical storm force winds posted, Chris, in places like New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, before we have seen it in places like New Orleans and Miami. What are people up there saying about this storm?
First off, I think a lot of people are upset that we're still on the week of 4th of July. A lot of people take the week off for their summer beach vacation. A lot of people road tripping closer to home. And Atlantic City is welcoming as many people, especially given the COVID-19 situation. They want business. So a lot of people want outdoor dining. That's kind of the way to go right now. And you're not going to be able to do it today. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of people this morning at all. It is Friday after 4th of July in the summer. Typically, you have millions of people every summer come to Atlantic City, and we're not having it. We had a lot of people yesterday. The weather was pretty nice. The good news is this is a fast-moving storm, but it's really going to pack a punch, and it may be more shocking than people are anticipating. And we do have, I think, a lack of staff to really help clear things up because we have a lot of loose articles. And when we're talking winds 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour, stuff like patio furniture, umbrella stands, even light posts and things, those can be whipped and even knocked over and can become debris. There's a lot of trash, too, we've noticed, just left over and spilling out over some of the trash cans. And some of that has been flying down, leftover bottles and things. So be mindful of that. You can see the flag there whipping in the wind. You mentioned a 41-mile-per-hour gust there in Ocean City, Maryland. Those tropical storm force winds are headed here. And we have noticed the winds pick up. I don't think we've quite gusted to tropical storm force yet, but we're certainly getting up to 30, maybe 34, 35 miles per hour from time to time. So power outages, yeah, we'll have some sporadic outages, especially if you get some winds on power lines, especially in some of the larger cities like Philly and New York. But flash flooding, guys, is going to be our biggest issue. We've had a lot of heavy thunderstorms in the last week and a half or so. So the ground is saturated, flying in. The rivers were swollen, Jim. And now you're going to bring in 2, 3, and some cases maybe even more, like 4 or 5 inches of rain in a 2-3 hours time span. We're going to have flood issues.
I bet you somebody winds up with double-digit rain before all is said and done, Chris. That's how much this stuff is coming down, and the rate is coming down. You think about 2 inches an hour, another 3 hours, and we're over 10 inches in some spots. Great report, great visuals, obviously, what's going on there with Tropical Storm Faye just offshore. Let's talk about it. Here's the proof of the pudding this morning. Look at Ocean City, Maryland. Look at the rainfall total so far. 494. Yeah, 494, Jen. So we're at about an inch and a half to 2 inches an hour here. Some of the dual pole data now is over 6 inches. So that's a part of the radar that can actually estimate the rainfall totals. And sometimes in tropical systems they underestimate it, but they're actually doing a pretty good job with this. I know over the past few years they've come up with a mode in the radar to take into account the size of the droplets and obviously a tropical situation. So that's doing pretty well this morning. So keep an eye on that. But this thing's heading north. It's heading up toward the Hudson Valley. It's heading up toward the Champlain Valley and eventually the St. Lawrence River Valley. Now, with landfalling tropical cyclones, the northeast quad is important. The band tends to have some low-level shear or spin with it. You'll get low-top supercells with these bands as they come ashore. So watch out. Don't be surprised today if you get a tornado warning along the coast or even up toward Long Island, the Connecticut coast, the New England coast as well, as these bands come on in. As a matter of fact, the model kind of shows a few of these as they kind of ripple off to the north. Of course, center may come ashore later on this afternoon, somewhere near Cape May. But here are these bands that we'll need to watch with that system moving onshore. Again, low top. They're not going to be these huge supercells that you see across the Midwest and the plains, and may even see again today, which we'll talk about. But these will be low top. Do some quick spinning
Plenty
and obviously cause some damage. So that is another
Still have a
threat today
little bit to
outside
go.
the center and the rain and the flooding. Our common numbers aren't high. all right? But these are going to be fast-moving and transitional. Again, after we get rid of this thing tomorrow, it starts to head up into Canada and moves its way to the north. Heck, it may even brush by southern Greenland, Jen, before all is said and done.
I know,
Amazing.
I mean, it's just late 2020, what else? Alright, so let's get through this and time it out for you, because it's not quite the Friday that Philly has in mind. A flash flood watch is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Heavy rain from Faye could cause ponding water and beyond. Look, we just had big flash flooding already from thunderstorms this week, especially southeast portion of I-95 and then over into Jersey and Delaware. Winds are going to whip. Maybe not as strong as along the coast, but we'll get our fair share of some gusty conditions too. Squally weather with Tropical Storm Faye taking aim here on the northeast. And we've got all of the impacts for you. So take a look at what we are dealing with. We've got all this moisture, which honestly is, for right now, you can see it's sort of loaded on the eastern side of the storm, but this is all coming up and coming in, and we are seeing this moisture hit the coast, and this is how we're going to be getting these big rainfall totals coming out of it. A widespread area of anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, if not even 5 to 7 inches for some of you. Let's look at the forecast and time it out for you as we get through the day today. We are going to be watching for the rain is obviously already here for a lot of us here, but to keep pressing north. So here in Philadelphia, showers are starting to move in south and east of town, the suburbs south and east of town as well. It gets even heavier as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. So taking a closer look, as you can see, Philadelphia, I mean, where we have those yellows on the map, that's where we're getting into the heavier rain and the heavier rainfall rates, and that comes our way within the next 2 to 3 hours. It's in place right through the afternoon. It's going to be a terrible ride home later today, or if you're trying to get to the Jersey Shore, that's also going to be a tough ride. I would wait until this evening to go if you can, just to avoid traveling in this rainfall. And then we jump up to New York City, and we're tracking it north as well. Getting into the rain by later on this morning. The heaviest of stuff for us is going to be here in the afternoon. Jim.
Awful timing as people try to head out for the weekend. Tropical Storm Faye located offshore of the Virginia coast, the Delmarva this morning. Meteorologist Ron's Wolf is live in Virginia Beach, so he's on the other side of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and Tunnel. Faye, again, just giving you a glancing blow to you, Reynolds, but one of the biggest misnomers is, okay, well, the storm's gone, go back in the water. We still got rip current risk, don't we?
My gosh. Yeah, that's out there right there. Bear with me for a moment while I do my best. Neil Armstrong.
Alright, gonna put it back in the fridge. Alright, got my onions here. Gonna put them in the bowl.
Was able to garner this video for us, and sure enough, it is a hot mess in that water. You've got, again, more of the same, the battering ram of water that's coming right up along parts of the Outer Banks. That's going to cause some erosion. More than anything, it's going to cause danger to swimmers who are seeking, well, some summer fun in the water. So, folks, you got to be careful. Now, in terms of rainfall, did we get a lot here? Not hardly. In fact, we got, let's say, 0.07 inches of rainfall, some heavier downpours, but that's what was recorded at the Naval Air Station. And as we roll forward over the next several days, this will continue its march to the north, again affecting some major areas. We're talking Philadelphia, possibly up in New York, taking into higher elevations, squeeze out.
Wash the plate and the knife. Don't need it. On the rip. Alright, got that washed. I'm gonna add some. I'm gonna make them by hand. Then, again, I'm going to go for another morning walk, and then gonna hang out. I already checked the oil, what I meant. And I'm gonna do another load of laundry today. And we'll
Across South Dakota and out out there in North Dakota, that's where our best
Got
chances
some
with
bread.
the initiation this afternoon of some
Breaking
hail.
it up.
All right, but we have all
Small
hazards in play today
little
along
pieces.
the warm front and in the warm sector, which is between the cold front and the warm front. And we've got a little bit upper level wind too to give us a little wind shear from the northwest. So hail, wind, even some tornadoes dropping south toward Kansas City.
Dropping them in here.
All right, and still ahead this morning, we are monitoring tropical storm phase progress as it eases its way towards a possible landfall. We're also showing you a spectacular sight in the sky, the comet Neowise, rising in the skies over Arizona here. We're going to tell you the best times to get out and see it while it lasts. And a live look at Wildwood, New Jersey. We're seeing the rain come down from tropical storm phase.
I'm going to actually break this into small pieces.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
To me, the A in Chick-fil-A is for above and beyond. I know that I need encouragement right now.
Breadcrumbs will add a little bit more of a texture.
It's about making sure that they know that we care about them, that we're going above and beyond for them and all.
Or small, tiny pieces.
With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, your plans can change at any time. Your head wants to do one thing, but your gut says, not today. GI-focused Entyvio is made for this. Entyvio acts specifically in the to prevent white blood cells from entering and causing damage and inflammation. Entyvio has helped many patients achieve long-term peace and remission. It may help you too. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment.
I'm going to use up this whole slice of bread. Put it in the bowl.
A risk of PML, a rare, serious, potentially brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur with Entyvio. If other treatments haven't worked well enough, ask your doctor about Entyvio. If you're experiencing financial hardship during these trying times, Takeda may be able to help.
This summer, we've all got miles to make up. Miles to the job site, to the campsite, and anything else we set our sights on. Miles back to those who can make this summer mean more than ever. We can help you get the most out of those miles during the Ram Summer Clearance event.
Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2020 Ram 1500. Go to ram.com to shop and buy today.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I would love that.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
In here, I'm going to mix this up a little bit.
Red sweater, button-down shirt, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Parents have a way of imagining the worst, especially when your visitor distracted teenager has the car. And soon,
Add the mixture on top.
driving with sensors that alert you when your eyes are off the road. It's the Guru Forester. The safest Forester ever.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outage.
Say hello to HBO Max. Simply the best collection of TV and movies in the world from the last 100 years. All your favorites together in one place. With tons of trusted recommendations.
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo.
And acclaimed original series. There's always something great to watch for everyone in the family. HBO Max. HBO Max for 3 months included. Go to AT&T.com/HBO Max to learn more.
COVID has brought the world to a halt. Pushing the crew to the limit.
What Corona does to small business.
The crew has moved to Mondays.
Oh my God!
And love.
It's not like we have any relationships.
They are my business.
Life
Oh, I'm gonna have to say,
and Chicago are being tested.
Hopefully we make it out of here good.
it's real, y'all.
Slacking through Chicago. All new Monday at 8, 7 Central only on VH1.
8 episodes of Storm Stories, the next chapter.
perfect. Gonna set this in the sink. Break this down a little bit. Let me see. What's in here? So I think I can just take it out and put it here.
People taken to the hospital and expected to be okay.
Going to put this in the microwave.
Philadelphia, we're really going to have a tough afternoon coming home from work today. High-profile vehicles, maybe you're making that stretch, say up towards Trenton and eventually LaGuardia. New York, you're going to be seeing this as well. Tropical force winds, and those winds are going to howl through Manhattan and some of those larger downtown thoroughfares where you've got canyons of skyscrapers. That's going to enhance that wind flow, so we will have the risk here for power outages. You may even have some debris objects that get thrown out in the road, so travel's going to be difficult. Wind-driven rain could be a problem.
I'm heating it up for a minute, 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Heating up breakfast. This is July series part 11. Part 10. I did the peanut butter on 2 slices of toast. But this time, the vegetable omelet with some breadcrumbs in it. So a little something new. You guys want to try it out? Feel free. Just a little bit of vegetables. You don't have to use bell pepper. You can use anything you want. Carrots if you have any. Or whatever you got. And I think it's done. Ooh, hot. Coming out. Grab the oven mitt. Take it out.
Try savory centuries. Pate with a center of gravy. Experience the adventure of a big around in a highly capable Lexus XUV at the Golden Opportunity Sales Center.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing with your Lexus dealer.
We all deserve more summer, so DQ is bringing you 2 summer favorites in one. The new drumstick blizzard with peanuts, the original drumstick, and the world famous vanilla sauce. Let's fit more summer into every bite. DQ, happy tasting.
And customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. What do you think?
Look at that, came out nice.
I'll say it. Only
Gonna let
pay
it
for
cool
what you
before
need.
I take it out. Got the small pieces of bread on top. It sticks, which is good. It's very hot.
Little choices make a big difference. Like delicious fruits and veggies. Arellano.
Okay, omelet came out well. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Follow me on Facebook, profile Louise Arellano. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you can stay up to date. And click on notification bell. Questions or comments, leave them below. If there are other videos you want to see, leave them in the comments. And see you next time.